All right, we have a down. No, I'm just kidding.
Bruh.
We have an insert here. I think you get one insert per box, and it's Lamar Jackson and the Mark Andrews Best Tutties insert. I don't like cards that are sideways. DJ Moore and Derek Carr. Booty. All right, next pack. What is going on, YouTube? Troy here, Sports Cards Behavior, and I'm back today with a new video. Today, we're opening some more football. I've been doing way too much of that now that the season's over, but we got an Optic blaster and a Prizm blaster. Now, these are Target exclusive blaster boxes, okay? So we're going to see which Target box is better, Optic or Prizm. Now, in my opinion, Prizm is 20 times better, 100 times better. I would be shocked if Optic can outperform Prizm in this rip. And Prizm, you can't even pull numbered cards,
Bruh.
one of ones, none of that in these blasters. And in Optic, you have a higher ceiling for sure, but I've never been a big fan of Optic. Maybe it's a biased choice for me to say Prizm is going to win. Maybe Optic proves me wrong, but I'm buying Prizm 100% of the time between the two. Now, why did I get both boxes from Target? I think Target boxes outperform Walmart. Might just be my experience, but I pull some dog water when I rip from Walmart. Plus, the white discos in Prizm are way nicer than the lasers. But anyways, with that said, remember, I'm doing a February giveaway. You could win a Mark McGwire PSA Authentic Slab, 1987 Topps, Mark McGwire Authentic PSA Slab, and a Jackson Dart Relic rookie card. Jackson Dart is a hot player. Might want to get this card before the next season starts, because I think it'll be going off shelves quick by the time next season starts. Remember, 2 free cards. All you have to do is subscribe to the YouTube and follow me on Instagram, and you'll be entered in the February giveaway. Now remember, rip responsibly. While I am here tracking profits and the value produced from each of these boxes, you will not make money just opening boxes. In this niche, investing requires high attention towards the sports card market, buying and selling singles, and grading. All right, here we go. I'm going to treat these boxes as even though the Optic one was a little bit more expensive, tiny bit. But we're just going to count the value produced from each box. My prediction, Prizm is going to win pretty easily. Didn't even cut it. Nice. All right, let me get them open here, and then we will get going on the rip. You get the same amount of cards in each box. But like I said, the ceiling is much higher in these Donruss Optic boxes. You can pull downtowns, numbered cards up to 49. Gold vinyls numbered from 25 to 1. White Pandoras. So the ceiling is definitely higher, but in reality, because I tell you guys to rip responsibly, the average box, Prizm will outperform. At least in my opinion. All right, hopefully we get some cards on those stands. I don't have any sleeves. One sec, I'll be right back. We are back with some sleeves. It's time to get to ripping. Now, I'm going to start with Optic. Because like I said, I think Prizm's going to win. Value is under my camera. Or my little window where my face is. Looks like we got a pink here. A pink. All right, we got a Mecha on the rated rookie. That's not a bad card at all, honestly. Having trouble focusing a lot of the times with this camera. It's that background. Whatever. Savion Williams. Let me get it focused here. Come on. There we go. Savion Williams on the pink. Now, these cards are pretty warped. Product just came out. That's upsetting. Tony Pollard and Mike Williams. So nothing really that good there. I guess I will sleeve the Emeka up because Emeka's pretty good. But Nothing crazy. Go to Prizm here. And we got another Ameca. All right, this is the Ameca box. It looks like we have a true silver here. Now, if you hit a banger on one of these, it's good. Especially if you can get it graded high. Ameca. Mason Taylor on the Variation Silver Prizm. Now, that's a pretty good card. Okay. So far, in my opinion, that is our best pull. Not crazy. Would have been nice to get a dart right there. Or a Scataboo. But Mason Taylor, we're on the board. It is the Variation. Those do not do as well as the regular. Chuba Hubbard and Adam Thielen. All right. Back to Optic. Now, I've seen Sky B. I know a lot of you probably heard of him. He's ripped so much of this and pulled one downtown. And I mean like $20,000 worth of this product. All right, we have another pink here, which means no downtown for sure. Jackson Hawes, Dante Thornton, Bryce Young, and Jim Kelly. Trash. All right, here we go. Jim Kelly's not trash. I meant the pack was trash. All right, here we go. We have another true silver here. Wow. I didn't know you can get more than one in a box. Maybe we got lucky. That's why I'm saying Prizm is better. Ernest Biner, Go Browns. And it's Jerome Bettis. Nice. All right, well, that's not who you want on the true silver, guys. Not at all. I will sleeve it up. But that is not who you want. You can already see the first white disco here. And it is Zach Bond. Now, these just look so much better than the lasers, in my opinion. If you've seen me rip this before, you know I love the white discos. Brian Burns and Ernest Biner again. All right. Back to Optic. Now, not much value so far produced in either box. The Mason Taylor is going to be carrying most of the weight right now. All right, we have a down. No, I'm just kidding. Bruh. We have an insert here. I think you get one insert per box, and it's Lamar Jackson and the Mark Andrews Best Tutties insert. I don't like cards that are sideways. DJ Moore and Derek Carr. Booty. All right, next pack. Back to Prizm. In my opinion, I don't know. Like I said, the value's under my webcam, but Prizm has to be in the lead. Let's pull a red SSP out of here. I pulled a Trey McBride of that on video. Should go check it out. We have all base here. Arroyo, Deshaun Jackson, Sean Taylor. Not a good pack there at all. Pretty bad. All right, back to Optic. All right, we have another pink here. Devin Neal, not who you want on the pink. Alfred Collins, Chase Brown. Yeah, bunch of doo-doo. All right, now back to Prizm. We have two white discos and a kid reporter. Let's get this kid reporter out of here. Marvin Harrison Jr. All right. White disco, Spencer Rattler. Now, it looks like he's a left-handed QB in this. Not sure if that's how it was supposed to be, but... Oh, no. Well, his right hand's on the ball, but he looks like he's stance left-handed. Tyler Warren on the white disco. Okay. There's our first good white disco of the box. And look at that. We're on the board twice now, and both are what? What I told you. Prizm. Prizm is most likely going to outperform Optic. It always does for me. It's not even close. So, Tyler Warren and Mason Taylor, we are on the board. All right. Not who we want. Back to Optic. All right, we got a thick boy here. Look at that. Thick boy. Malachi Starks, who says, hey, blue, Jackson Dart? No, but pretty good. Ashton Genty on the Donruss Threads Relic card. That is a pretty good card, everybody. Not bad at all. Very nice. One of our better cards from Optic. I don't have a thick top loader, so I'm going to have to do some adjustments. Just leave that here. But we're on the board for Optic. Thank goodness. Now on the Holo, first one we're going to see here. It's not a good one. And Tajay Spears. Back to Prizm. Again, I still think the Prizm is in the lead, and I don't think it's very close. Now, it might be because neither box is doing crazy good, but if I were you guys, I would be ripping Prizm, Prizm, Prizm. Now, here we go. Look at that. We got a Caleb Williams insert on the Prizm break. That's a cool looking card. Not bad. Nothing crazy. We did get a Will Howard rookie. I would hope to see him play at some point. We don't know what is happening with Aaron Rodgers, but I'm an Ohio State fan, so I want to see him get a chance. Devin Hester, remember him, guys? He used to return like every kick to the house. You kicked it to him, he was touchdown. It was crazy. All right. No downtown in today's box. I always get a little bit hyped when I see that, but we have another Holo, and it is Drake May. Okay. That is not bad. A year 2 Drake May Holo. Now, his cards did go down after the Super Bowl, but that is expected because he lost, didn't play too well, and now it is the offseason. This card will be for sale at the eBay store. So if you guys are interested in any of these cards, there is not one here that I'm going to PC so far or hold. So they will all be for sale. Drake May on the Holo, and then a bunch of booty to end it here. Hines Ward, good player, but come on, it's 2025, 2026, guys. What's he doing in here? Last pack of the video. We have 2 white discos, thank goodness. All right, here we go. Eric Armstead. Bijan. If you play fantasy with me, you know I love this guy. I'm taking him first pick in any PPR league if possible. He is so good. And if they did not have Tyler Algier as a backup, he would do even more. But I think they complement each other pretty well. All right, we have a rookie for the second one. Who's it going to be? Titans, not Cam Ward. Yeah. All right, Torrey Holt. I've pulled a lot of his Prizm cards, and that's it. So there is the sample size, everybody. That is what you're going to get from the target boxes, usually on an average basis, 1 box, because most of us regular people rip 1 box here and there. And yeah, remember, I am doing a giveaway. If you want to win a free PSA slab, remember they just increased the prices again. So you can get a free slab by subscribing to YouTube, following on Instagram, as well as winning a Jackson Dart Relic card. Great card to get in the offseason to have going into next season. He's got Harbaugh. He's going to get Malik Neighbors back. Scadaboo is going to be back. I believe his cards will be going up next season. Long term, hard to say. Hardly anyone is Tom Brady. But I think he's going to be a good card to have going into next season. And all you have to do is subscribe to YouTube and follow on Instagram. And you can get entered for that. And to give you guys perspective, last month I only had like 30 people entered. So might as well do those things because you have a good chance to win. Now let's do a little recap here. So we didn't have too much craziness. You know, the silver Jerome Bettis and the silver Mason Taylor variation. Bijan on the white. And we didn't hit too many good white discos. So I'm going to skip that. Now over here, Drake May Holo is one of the better cards. And really that was it for Optic. Yeah, that was really it. And the big hits, were the Ashton Genty, Donruss Threads, Relic card. Pretty nice card there, Ashton Genty. I would hope he has a bounce back season. Then the Tyler Warren, probably like the best card for a long-term perspective. This is a good tight end. If you guys watch this man in college, he was crazy. He was basically a fullback, quarterback, a wildcat running back, and a tight end who can block and catch. So good card here. Probably the best card in the rip. I don't know about current market value for sure, but I would think so. And then the Mason Taylor silver. Mason Taylor is pretty good. So this is not a bad silver, but it's not the best. You know, you want to get Dart or a quarterback, a rookie quarterback if you could. But that's it. My prediction, everyone, is that Prizm won. I do think it was a little bit closer than I would have thought it would be, because I usually think Prizm is going to be better every time. So I would recommend that you rip Prizm if you're going to rip, but remember to always rip responsibly, because you could get boxes like this that aren't going to get your value back. Again, my prediction is on the screen, but you'll see who actually won on the screen right now. And as remember, guys, always, I love you. Peace.